States have largely failed to distinguish hospitalizations because of COVID from what you might call incidental COVID-19. This is where people find themselves in hospital for any possible reason and just incidentally happen to have COVID. The Omicron variant has seen a mass expansion of positive COVID tests. This includes many people who have been vaccinated, some of who have required hospital care. This could explain why officials are starting to separate hospitalized because of COVID from incidental COVID. On this topic, a short clip from CDC Director Rochelle Walensky recently caused a major public stir.
The overwhelming number of deaths, over 75%, occurred in people who had at least 4 comorbidities.
In other words, people who had at least 4 other diseases alongside having COVID. And it's easy to see why this would rile people up. 3/4 of the people reportedly dying of COVID have at least 4 other serious illnesses. It seriously takes the edge off the massive projection of people alleged to have died purely by COVID, some 864,000 in the US. Alongside that, it also puts a dent in the argument for drastic measures that limit people's rights and freedoms in the name of COVID safety. Vaccine mandates come to mind. So really, these were people who are unwell to begin with, CDC Director Walensky said. Following this apparent revelation that the COVID death toll isn't as steep as we've been led to believe, what she said next was unequivocally baffling. She said, not only get your primary series, get your booster series. Yes, she plugged the vaccine after saying most of the people dying from COVID already had significant illnesses. But then it came out that she'd apparently been taken out of context. The CDC later sought to qualify Walensky's statement. It said the statistics she gave were actually about people who'd been vaccinated. They came from a study of over 1.2 million people who'd completed primary vaccination. Of those that died, 78% had at least 4 other underlying illnesses. Moreover, it found that in all deaths, the person had at least one other risk factor, like being over 65 years old or being immunosuppressed. Walensky left out that she was talking about vaccinated people, hence all the buzz about this on Twitter and other platforms. Confused messaging aside, she was offering a glowing endorsement of the vaccines. The vaccines are so effective that it's highly unlikely for someone vaccinated to die of COVID. And for the vaccinated people with COVID who die, they mostly have other complicating conditions. There is an obvious question that this prompts though. If you're vaxxed, have COVID and die, chances are you have other serious health problems. But what about the unvaxxed people who are dying who have COVID? How many of those also have comorbidities? Correct me if I'm wrong, but knowing the data on this is equally, if not more, critical.